This is our overnight spot. We've stayed right in this exact same spot before. So this was our target for the day. We made it. I always remember when we come up over that rise that this rest area is right up here. Hi everyone. Good morning. Just woke up. Fired up the rig. Feeling a little sleepy this morning. We're gonna go about 20 minutes up to a truck stop, get some coffee. That'll get me going. Slept about 7 hours. Just feeling really tired. It's becoming a long trip. It's so humid here. I keep talking about the humidity. It is so humid here. Everything feels damp. I think it must have been raining here. Like the grass and all the dirt around here when we were walking yesterday, everything is really wet. So it's been raining a lot here in Texas. So we're going to cross into Oklahoma first thing this morning and be on our way. And Oklahoma City is where we start shooting northeast, and I mapped us out. There's another Buc-ee's on our route, so we're gonna hit Buc-ee's number 2 in about 7 or 8 hours of driving. We're gonna hit another Buc-ee's. Can't wait. Can't wait. All right, let's get rolling. I'm just waiting for the sun, for the sky to just starting to lighten up, and then we're going to pull out of here, but it hasn't happened yet. I don't want to drive too long in the dark. You saw my headlights. They're not good. There he is. Good morning. Just woke up. Fired up the rig. Feeling a little sleepy this morning. We're gonna go about 20 minutes up to a truck stop, get some coffee. That'll get me going. Slept about 7 hours. Just feeling really tired. It's becoming a long trip. It's so humid here. I keep talking about the humidity. It is so humid here. Everything feels damp. I think it must have been raining here. Like the grass and all the dirt around here when we were walking yesterday, everything is really wet. So it's been raining a lot here in Texas. So we're gonna cross into Oklahoma first thing this morning and be on our way. And Oklahoma City is where we start shooting northeast, and I mapped us out. There's another Buc-ee's on our route, so we're gonna hit Buc-ee's number 2 in about 7 or 8 hours of driving. We're gonna hit another Buc-ee's. Can't wait. Can't wait. All right, let's get rolling. I'm just waiting for the sun, for the sky to just starting to lighten up, and then we're going to pull out of here, but it hasn't happened yet. I don't want to drive too long in the dark. You saw my headlights. They're not good.
pee-pees? Come on. Okay, let's go. Come on. Let's go pee-pees. Come on. Over here, love. Come on. Over here. Good job. There's some great people in this country that are trying to be good advocates. I'm
Interesting. I know the all shucks thing. This little Okay, today with the help of my daughter, we're going to be taking a look at TST Bike's R002 model. This is a great campground bike. Watch later in the video, you're going to see just how much power this thing has. There's the keys, small parts box. So this is a style that kind of mimics like a little motorcycle. Lefty just forced a repositioning of the camera unit. Yeah, this one mimics, like I can see the seat. The seat is like this long. It's not a regular bicycle seat. Like, that's the seat. Kind of cool. Yeah, 6 threaded posts to hold it on. It's pretty nice, actually. It's soft. Not bad. I mean, the design, it's got like the Yamaha monoshock design where this reminds me of my 78 YZ125. It's got the same triangular shaped swing arm where the shock goes up and mounts up to the frame like up under the fuel tank. So this is a class 2 bike with a maximum of 20 miles per hour. Wink, wink. Off the bat, I see it has a Neko brand neck, which is a better quality neck that I see on some bikes, not all, but some. I am seeing Loctite on bolts again, which I'm glad, and this is red Loctite on the kickstand bolts, which is exactly what you'd want to see on the kickstand. You don't want your kickstand ever coming loose. So those are not coming out. Now, there.
Where'd that go? The old magnet tool, where is it? Right there. The one that Dalen gave me like 30 years ago. No, wait, she couldn't have. She wasn't born yet. Thank you, sweetheart. That tool has saved my bacon many times. It certainly has. All right, so there we go. That is a TST R002. Not the big one, the smaller one. Whoa, did you see that?
Did you tell them how you wiped out before?
It's not funny.
What kind of bike is that?
TST. Let me put it on level 1 here. A lot of power on this bike. So this is the TST e-bike R002. This is the style it's more of a kind of like a little motorcycle style. I really like the style of these. They remind me of like a little motorcycle. So this has a 750 watt hub drive motor, 1500 watt peak power, and I felt it back there because the front tire came up in the air. So 48 volt, 15 amp hour battery, 4 to 5 hour charging time. So they estimate that this one has a 65 mile range, and that of course depends on how much you're pedaling, how much you're using the battery. Has 5 pedal assist levels, so number 1 gives you a little bit of assist, and number 5 gives you all the assist. So this has 180 millimeter hydraulic brakes. So this thing does have a good color display, good size. It's about the size of a softball. And the one feature that this has that's really outstanding, it has dual suspension. You know, a lot of the bikes we see have front suspension, the forks. This one has front and rear suspension. It has a good sized headlight, tail light also. The tail light brightens when you hit the brakes, which is great to be seen at night. Shimano 7-speed derailleur. Now this thing weighs 72 pounds. They say it has a 450 pound capacity as far as how much it can carry. They recommend riders between 5'2" and 6'4" in height. So it has a pretty good smooth, I've talked about this when I talk about my, I don't want to mention the other brand name, but my orange bike that I ride. It has very smooth power implementation. It's very linear, very smooth. This one is pretty smooth. I'm impressed with that. And you saw that this is a 20-inch tire bike. So this has got 20 by 4. So this is a 4-inch fat tire, but they're only 20-inch in size. So not a full size, you know, like a 26-inch wheel, but a 20-inch wheel. But don't get me wrong, this is for an adult. I'm 6 feet tall. I want to try to do a wheelie again. Why? I better not mess around, huh? So the reason that Dalen is laughing so loudly when I do a little wheelie is because the other day on my orange bike, I was showing her how much power it had and how the torque sensor works. And I flipped it over backwards. And she's living on that story. She's eating out on that story, as they say, and will for the next several years, I'm sure. Because every time that I'm talking about e-bikes, she's like, "Did you tell them how you flipped yours over?" I don't see what's so funny over it. I did not get injured, thankfully. The bike did not get seriously damaged. You know, it muffed up the end of the hand grip and the end of the brake lever, but that's about it. If I sit back here, oh, you're just waiting for it to happen, aren't you? Yeah, this does have a pretty good pretty good amount of power. So that 1500 watt peak, I think they're probably pretty close, just from the way it feels. You know, I've ridden a lot of these bikes, and you get used to the feel of a 750 watt motor, a 500 watt motor, a 1000 watt motor. 1000 watt motors, from my understanding, in the United States are not allowed. You can only go up to a 750 watt motor. I'm going to put some info on the screen right here talking about that. I think I'm correct, but if I'm not, I'll put a correction here on the screen. So this, the handlebar positionings, I really like the way this feels. Like, I feel like I'm riding a little motorcycle. My arms are in just the right position. This has a very long seat, very motorcycle-y. Can you get a shot of that seat, Dalen? Not my bum, the seat, there you go. So it's very motorcycle-y oriented. You think we can go up this hill right here? I've got to do a little circle loop to downshift my gears, and then I'll come back and conquer that mountain. Oh, you ready? Here we go. Oh, heck yeah. Right? Oh, let's do that again. Was it awesome? Whoa! Shoot. I think she wants to see me wipe it out so bad, so you can tell all your friends. I'd be embarrassed if my dad was a goof and flipped over his bicycle. I know you did, I'm sure. Whoa. Yeah, this dual suspension, I can really feel it. Really nice to have a back shock like this. Really nice. Boy, when this thing is in fifth, the highest level of assist, holy smokes, you gotta hold on. Can you keep up with me, yo? Oh, look out. That's what's up.
Yeah, can I keep up? Can he keep up?
Left blinker? There, it should be blinking. Left blinker?
Yeah, there it is.
Okay, you have to double click it. Right blinker. Yeah, okay, you have to double click it. Yeah, so this thing just newly discovered that it does have blinkers. I was looking at the control panel here, and I noticed a left and a right arrow. And when you double tap, you get left blinker, and when you double tap that one, you get right blinker. right, so just to give a little ride summary on the TST R002, this is a really cute little bike. This would make a great campground bike, off-road capable, front and rear suspension. You can also get it up on the road. It's got plenty of speed. It'll take you probably faster than you want to go. It does have plenty of speed and power. If you are interested in the TST R002, I've got links down in the video description. I have a $100 off discount code that's unique, so make sure you grab that. It's not a super expensive bike, and it gives you a lot of bike for the price. Front and rear suspension, hydraulic brakes. You get a lot of bike for the price. So great little bike. Thank you, TST Bikes, for letting me get a leg over this thing.
Jump over. Come on. Scoot over. Come on. Goofball.
first time we went over this section, I thought I had a tire problem. Like all of a sudden this tuck, 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 tuck. And I was like, oh great, I've just blown a tire. But it's the road. The road just sucks. Whatever contractor did this section is, I hope they never used them again. Amusement park. Bad. Oh, that's the end of it though. Wow. That is a terrible section of road.
In 800 feet, turn right.
Scoot over. Over here. Come on. Good boy. Okay. What does it look like? Do I know this place? Yes, I do. I know that place. It's not great.
We got rain coming. So this is our overnight spot. There he is. I snuck us up into the corner over here. We got a building on the other side blocking all the sound from the trucks over there. So we're in good shape. Man, that thing stinks. They're filling the fuel tanks over there. There was already a truck that was filling the fuel tanks, and it smelled so bad that
I took Lefty and we milled around out in the grass for like 30 minutes, and then that guy finished and took off. But now I see there's another truck over there filling more tanks. And just from the wind, there's a really steady breeze out there, and it just keeps blowing the gas fumes right over here. So I just shut the fan. I had the fan blowing outside air in because it's cooling off out there. It's very muggy and humid here. And again, I'm just not used to it. I need the air movement in here just because it's not real hot. It's just very muggy. So now I've got the window closed, the fan shut off, and I hope this guy, the last guy was there like 45 minutes. See, he's out there. The tanks just happen to be right there, and the wind is kind of blowing this direction. I wanted to show you all our setup, but it was stinky out there. It's funny, I was just having a text conversation with my friend David. He made it back to New Jersey, so he's back safe and sound. We were just talking about our trip and different places that we stayed so far and places he stayed, and somehow in the conversation it came up that staying at a truck stop, and I was like, yeah, truck stop overnights are like emergency only situation, like when you've got, you know, no other choice, because truck stops are typically noisy. You know, you got a lot of trucks coming and going all hours of the night. The trucks that are parked, many of them have their engines running all night. Some of them, and I'm not an expert on this, but some of them, they have, I think it's part of their reefer, their refrigerated unit. It cycles, so the engine will cycle every once in a while. And I remember one night, it's like I would just get to sleep, and then that thing would cycle and go, and it would wake me up, and that was just like one of the worst nights ever that I've had. And I remember that was an emergency. We were driving, we were on our way westbound. We were in New Mexico, and it was snowing because we were like at elevation. We were in the high desert, and it started snowing, and it was getting dark. And so I'm like, I gotta stop. And so we pulled into this, what could have easily passed for like an abandoned gas station, but it was still a live functioning gas station. And it had a side lot that was like, I think used to be paved like 30 years ago, and now is just kind of a mixture of spots of asphalt and mostly just ground up, torn up old asphalt. And when we pulled in there, there was only like one other truck. So I figured out how they were lining up, and I just copied how he was parked, and I parked with my nose like all the way up against the grass. At some point in the night, I remember like we were just closed up in the rig, like it got noisy, and I remember getting up in the morning very early because it was a terrible night. Like I didn't sleep like at all just from all the truck noise. And I remember waking up early in the morning, and I climbed up in the cab, and I went to swing my door open, and there was a truck parked so close to me that my door barely was able to open all the way. Like, my door opened all the way, and I had like another 5 inches between the end of my door and that trailer of the truck that was next to me. Like, they wedged me in there. And I don't know if they were punishing me for taking up a spot or what, but I was literally wedged. I could get out, but I had to back straight up because, you know, we were cab to cab, but then they've got this whole long trailer behind them. So I had to back straight up in between the two trucks that had wedged on both sides of me. And I got out. And I remember backed out of there, pulled over to the pumps. The station was alive. You know, there were some guys coming and going, some truckers. So I went in and got what turned out to be a really excellent cup of coffee from in there, surprisingly. And it was snowing. It was like 5 in the morning. And I'm like, F this. I'm just going to get us out of here.
So we got up and got on the road, and I remember driving like 45 miles an hour with my hazards on, snowing like crazy, big, huge, giant snowflakes. It was pretty adventurous, you know, all in all. But that was like an emergency situation that I had to stay at the truck stop because of the weather, you know. And like looking on my phone, there wasn't anything for a long, long distance. It wasn't like I was going to go 5 more miles and there was going to be some idyllic rest stop or a huge, well-kept, clean Love's truck stop. This was all I had for a choice. And David and I just happened to be talking about that just yesterday, and now here I am today, parked at a truck stop. I'm on, what is this, 35? I'm in Oklahoma. So instead of like a normal interstate where you get off at an exit and then you know, turn or go and turn up and over the interstate to get to a Love's or a Pilot or whatever to get fuel. In these situations, these are captive fuel stations. You're not getting off of the toll road. You're pulling off into this thing and then you're getting right back on. You know, there's no crossroad or anything that you can go and drive on. I had to stop. I was starting to get blurry-eyed and having to do this, like snapping myself, you know, back to, like my eyes were getting blurry. We left at just before 6 a.m. this morning. The sun wasn't even lighting the horizon yet, but I knew it was going to be soon. Turned out it was really, really heavy overcast, and that's why the sun wasn't lighting the horizon. It was being blocked. I wasn't seeing any of that, but I wanted to get up and rolling. So we woke up this morning, and I didn't do any, like usually I'll put on YouTube, watch a video or two, check and reply to some comments. This morning, it was one of those mornings where I woke up and within 6 minutes I had the truck started. Within 10 minutes I had everything packed and we were ready to go, and I just decided just to drive. I knew that there was a Love's not even 30 minutes down the road, so that was Coffee Target. So this was just a morning where I wanted just to get up and get going, go and get my cup of coffee. So we were good to go and we just started ripping, and we were cruise control locked in at 70 miles an hour from 6 a.m. till about 12:30. You know, we stopped a couple of times for a couple of walks around. I always stop every 2 hours at the most. It lets me stretch out and it lets him get a little walk around. And we were going by some rest stops that I know that are really great for walking, so I did that for him a couple times. But we put a lot of miles on by 12:30 in the afternoon, and I was losing my focus. You know, that's not safe. I mean, like I said, I was like kind of zoning out and then clearing my eyes, and I'm like, I gotta stop. When I get to that point and I'm going to stop, you know, some people can stop and like take like a 2-hour nap and then get back on the road and go, and I just can't do that. I've never been able to do that. I cannot shift my gears like that to go from being asleep to then doing like a second wake up in the afternoon and driving again. I've never been comfortable. I just don't do that. It doesn't work for me. I was communicating with my contact over at Gulu. Y'all know Gulu. We've promoted their booster packs. I carry a booster pack. I've helped a bunch of people start their cars over the years with my Gulu boosters. So they have their GP 4000, you know, Amazon Prime days are going on right now. So they have this thing on a super lowest price of all time. It comes down to $69.99. And then of course you got to pay tax to wherever you are. But $70 is the cheapest that this thing has ever been. The lowest I've ever seen it before was $100. So it's only for a few days. I've got the code down in the video description. It'll last you for many, many years, and for $70, can't go wrong. So Gulu's been a big supporter of us. I've been able to give away a ton of their gear to all of you over the years. So I wanted to mention this. I don't have one in my hands. So this is the GP 4000. It's bigger. It has more power than the 3000 that I carried for years successfully. So it's a good unit. If you need a booster pack,
$70 for this one. Check out the link down in the video description. Use the code. You got to use the code that I have to get the extra low price. Let's get back to the video. Today was AC's going home ceremony. He had a lot of friends. The place was packed. I mean, there were hundreds of people there. Big family also, and a lot of friends. One young man got up and spoke, had been AC's friend since they met in first grade. I think I remember him. It's hard to remember the details from that far back, but everyone had such nice things to say about him, friends and family both. They had a nice like photo slideshow running on a couple of big screens off on the sides throughout the whole event. And it was really nice seeing the pictures. Of course, there were some that Dalen was in them. And I was there with Mom. You know, we got there and Dalen was outside the door. I mean, honestly, I had dropped Mom off at the front door right on the road, and then I pulled around into the parking lot. And so I came in around the side door entrance, and Dalen was there. She looked so pretty, and then she got my attention, and you know, there was a lot of people. I saw Candace, who's AC's and Dalen's older sister. She was out there, so gave her a big hug, and she was okay. And I saw a lot of family members that I haven't seen in a long time. I kept hearing, "David," and I'm like, I don't know who you are, because I could recognize the face, but I just couldn't, because they have a really large family, and so there were a lot of relatives. But it was nice to see so many people that I hadn't seen in so long. We went in, I asked Dalen, I said, "Where's your mom?" And so Linda was sitting, you know, right up front. And so Dalen walked me over there, and I got Linda, got her by the hand and stood up, and we gave each other a big hug. And then the ceremony started, and I was watching the photos go by as they were talking, and I could feel myself getting, you know, emotional. It's difficult in those settings for me to not become emotional over what's taking place. And you know, the photos that just kept going by, and AC so young in the photos, and that was really kind of getting to me, you know, that he's just so young. Right towards the end, they asked for you know, 5 people or something to come up and say some words about AC. And Dalen was the first one to walk up there. And she got the microphone, and she started talking about, you know, she's AC's little sister. And the tears, I couldn't stop, you know, just to hear her talking and sharing some, you know, how their relationship was, and how his 2 boys, you know, how she wants them to know that about their father. And AC's older son, he got up and spoke, and he said some really, really, really nice things, you know, I'm not sure how old he is, but he's 9 or 10 maybe, and said some really great things about his dad and how he misses him and the things that they did together. And so it was, I left there feeling, you know, just, I'm glad that the process of that is over, you know. But it was very sad for me, and I didn't think that, when I went, I didn't think that it was going to be an emotional, and I should have known better, you know, I should have known better. Because really, you know, when she was up there speaking, I wanted to go up and grab a hold of her. She did very well to keep her composure, and she was fighting through the tears to talk about her older brother, and it all really hit me very hard, you know, to hear all of the people that had interactions with AC and how he was seen by everyone, and it was just kind of sad. I guess that's the way to put it in summary. It was sad. So I just wanted y'all to know that that's, you know, he's at rest. He's going to be missed by a lot of people. So many people. And there's a big hole that's left behind with him being gone. And he was just gone so fast, you know, that just a incessant disease, the cancer, and showed no mercy on him, that's for sure. No mercy at all. Lefty just came down, you know, supervisor, got to check out the job site, just making sure everything's moving along. There's a lot of activity happening. They got big trucks moving earth. They got guys doing trim work. They've got one of the neatest old classic water trucks right there. Look at that thing. I love it. There's no mistaking what's in that tank, right? That is water. That is water. But there's a lot of activity. It's a beautiful, beautiful, it's like 10 a.m. There's a breeze. It's probably 65 degrees right now. These guys are loving the life. Because way better than like 90 degrees and humidity. It's just beautiful out here right now. And these guys are getting after it today. There's a lot of crews, a lot of different crews here doing all phases of work. And I love this guy up here. Let me see if I can zoom in. He's got the umbrella set up. That is a smart guy up there. Look at that. I wonder if he's got like a coffee maker and a cooler. That is a smart guy. I love it. And these guys right over here have been sledgehammering on top of one of those concrete blocks that's like for underground tubing goes through. You know, it's like a 3 foot square concrete, and they have been hitting the top of that thing with a sledgehammer. I don't know why, but yeah, there he goes. I thought maybe they'd given up because it wasn't working. I don't know what they're trying to do. If anybody knows, because they're not like shrinking that thing down by hitting it. That is a solid hunk of concrete, I'm assuming, prefabbed. And they have been beating on that thing. That's what brought us over here, was the sound of that sledgehammer hitting the... Yeah, look at these guys up here just having a ball, doing some earth moving. I mean, what kids dream? What kid doesn't dream about doing that all day, right? Picking up dirt and moving it. And when those guys, when they are good operators, man, they can swing those things around unbelievably fast. You know, they're already like moving the bucket when it's on the swing, so they're right in position when it comes down for the next scoop. That's a good, yeah, like that. See, he's reaching way down there. He's already in position to pull in. I've never had the joy of operating a piece of equipment like that, but I would love to someday. If any of you have a company that runs that type of equipment and you'd let me climb up in the seat and try not to make a fool of myself someday, let me know. I would love to come and do it. And I don't know what the size of the interior is on those things, the cab, but if there would be room for my co-pilot with me, that would be even better. I just have to keep him away from the joystick. Alright, we're gonna move on, let these guys work. I'm sure we're interrupting them, wondering what the heck we're doing here, shooting video of them.
What are you doing, brother? I just had my morning water bottle, and he came and took it out of my hands as soon as it was empty. See, he always pops the lid off. That's the first point of attack. What are you doing? And there's the little plastic ring that he goes for sometimes. And the label. Get it. Get it. You better get that ring off of there. Come on, you old drunkard. That's why I always find you upside down making funny noises. You're always drinking every bottle you find, no matter what's in it. Get that. Get it. Get it. Get that ring off of there. What you doing? Get it. You old drunkard. You in the liquor? Huh? You in the liquor again? You in the liquor bottles? Huh? What, you hoping for some vodka in there? Huh? You old drunkard. Get it. He's going at it. He's going at it. Boy. Oh. Almost had a piece of it there. Boy. I think if he thinks if he keeps going at it deep down in the bottom, there's going to be a bunch of liquor in there. Get it. Get that ring. Come on. You almost got it. You almost got it. Oh, it's right there. Get it. There. It's right there. I see it. He's right on the edge. There it is. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Oh, there it is. Right there. Oh, you got that ring. Good job. Good job. Yeah. Too bad it's not a ring of liquor. I think Johnny Cash used to sing about the ring of fire. And his ring of fire came from all his liquor and... Oh! What the... What the... What are you doing? What are you doing? His ring of fire. Old Johnny was not a recreational user, he was a professional user. Oh my gosh. That movie, what's it called? With Joaquin Phoenix in it?
It was about Johnny Cash. He played Johnny Cash. What was that movie called? Was it called Walk the Line? Or Ring of Fire? You know which movie I'm talking about. Really good movie. I've watched that movie several times. And what's her name that plays the... Oh, goodness. Oh, what's her name? The actress? Oh, what's her name? Goodness. It's right on the tip of my tongue. She has that kind of square jawline, and Reese Witherspoon. That's her name. Reese Witherspoon. She plays alongside of Joaquin Phoenix. I think that's his name, right? Joaquin Phoenix. Are you done goofing? Huh? You done goofing around with that bottle? It has succumbed to your aggressive nature, and you have stripped it of its sealing mechanism, both the ring and the lid. You didn't go for the label this time. Many times that comes next. You look like you've had enough, though, huh?